Hi there, it's Mike at the Villa Gourmet. I'm here to talk to you about some of our delicious, ridiculously yummy, and decadent cheeses. Tonight, my first guest, well, for this segment, the only guest, is the cheddar with caramelized onions. This comes from a Sommerdale cheese producer. This is actually made in England. And typically, the English cheeses are, of course, cheddars. So this is exactly that, cheddar with caramelized onion. It's wonderful stuff. The cheddar itself is not too sharp. It's a very rich, very creamy, nice buttery kind of flavor to it. And it's really a fantastic foil for the sweet onions that we find laden throughout the cheesy goodness. So in this cheese specifically, the sweet onion flavor is actually from a marmalade, a sweet onion marmalade that they use in this cheese's creation. And man, is it wonderful stuff. I personally really like this because the onion flavor has a fantastic amount of linger. It really just coats your palate in wonderful oniony sweetness, and it's kind of hard to come up with synonyms for oniony flavor on the spot. So let's just move on. This is great stuff for wines or beers. Beers can be a little bit easier. Cheddars, I'd go with so many different kinds of beer. And the onion flavor is not something that really messes with too many beer flavors. So you've got a very open-ended spectrum, but because it's that time of year, I'm gonna recommend Oktoberfests, Autumn Fests, anything that's seasonal right now, with the exception of pumpkin beers. You might be able to make it happen, but pumpkin kind of fights with the oniony flavor, at least in a cheese and beer situation. Maybe in a pumpkin Gouda soup you could sneak a little onion in. But the reason that I'm bringing it up, wines are a little bit trickier to pair. You don't want any wine that's weak. You need to have bold flavors. I recommend whites that have a decent amount of flavor going on. Something like Chardonnay would be wonderful. You could get away with some of the drier whites, like a Pinot Grigio or something like that. But I would go for something bolder. You can get a nice, zesty, sweeter Riesling to sneak in here. That's going to go pretty nicely. But you just don't want anything too light. Honestly, some of those Grigios can really be, just like a wisp of flavor, and it's not going to be enough to hold up to a cheese with this kind of boldness. So, me personally, I'm going to recommend reds, especially some nice medium to full-bodied reds. Your Merlots, your Cabernets, your Malbecs, they're all going to be wonderful with this cheese. And you could definitely do some of the Spanish reds too, like anything from the Rioja. You could do Tempranillo, you could do Garnacha. There's a whole bunch of different options for you. But yeah, I recommend reds, whites that are bold, and man, beers of just about any variety are awesome pair with this cheese. So, caramelized onion cheddar from Sommerdale, really wonderful stuff. Come on down to the Villa Gourmet sometime and give it a try. I'll be here to sample it, and you'll feel so happy. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.